Next week. Now I can start. Next week, Dr. Grover Green, from St. James Academy has assured me that he will be here.
All right.
So, we'll hear from him about that new school. Tom, do you have an update on the shirts? We'd like to do a shirt order. It's time for,
I don't have an update, but I mean, I want just to mention it to the club that we're thinking, we're going to put a shirt order together. I mean, we've done this a number of times over the years. We're thinking about either or both polo shirts and then or button down dress shirts. So it's just something to think about. We'll have to at some point either online or through the meetings or both, I think, have people sign up. So
And
look and see what you have at home, and
we
Sean's wearing one, Charlie's wearing one, Greg's wearing a different one. I think we.
I've got Greg's and I got 2 of these,
Yeah,
but I don't have that dark color.
yeah, I don't know where you get that through Jerry or.
What I want to find is Peter's hat. Peter's got the most amazing rotary hat. I can't find it.
Russell Hampton.
Russell Hampton. Okay, so
to be honest, I don't remember where I got this shirt.
They've got everything. Okay, we can pretty much pick what we want to order and then have it embroidered.
what are we talking about here? Dynamic? Or is that or
No, Dragonfly.
Dragonfly?
But I have to
Yeah.
check with them to see which logo they have. They might have.
Oh, no. So that's what I wanted to point out, because the logo has changed for embroidered. Here's off the Russell Hampton page, and it's also on the Rotary brand page. So now it is, McGuanago would be on top, Rotary would be in larger font, and then Club in small with a wheel with no Rotary International in it. So we have different variations. It doesn't mean that the ones you already have can no longer be worn. It just means if we're gonna buy new ones, we should match the current Rotary requirements in terms of embroidered logo, whether it's on a hat or whatever. That's the new club and district logo there. So however we would convey that to Dragonfly and say, here's the current logo.
Yeah, and that might be an issue because when we first did it, the emblem. But if we order through Dragonfly, Russell Hampton is fine, but our options are way more limited. We order through Dragonfly. If you go to their website, I mean, we can pick from.
Yeah,
100
but I mean, look, this is a polo shirt. 3 of them are $50 each. So it's not inexpensive.
No, well, and it's the same way with Dragonfly. You can buy a $60 shirt or you can buy a $25 shirt.
You don't want that $25 shirt.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of what we have. to
So anyway.
decide what people want to do.
So I think the goal is to kind of come out and say 2 colors with button down like John has on, 2 colors with polo. Order your large, extra large, medium, whatever you want.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna
Yeah.
do.
So anyway, it's been a while, and thankfully we have new members of the club and they haven't had an opportunity and all that, so.
But if you wanted to see, you can go to the Dragonfly website and click on their vendors and get easily 100 options.
Yeah, I want to know where they come up with these Rotarians, though. I mean, this guy here I'm not sure he spent a lot of time in Rotary. But anyway, this is the work shirt, and you'd see, we got our work shirt, but I don't know, that seems a little large to me, it's like right on the chest. Yeah, the logo is huge. So anyway, but that's the new logo.
I think at Dragonfly, the other advantage is for those of us who like talls, is that they offer a tall, which you can't always get.
All right, excellent.
More to come on that.
How about Jack-o'-lantern, John, Halloween haunt? Einer, any updates from you guys?
Updates. We're working on the flyers,
Okay.
so we're working on Stephanie Paint. We tweaked them a little bit from last year. I think they're at the printers right now, so as soon as we get those, it's a big push to canvas the area and get the distribution out and some flyers up, so.
So we'll probably come to club members to ask people to,
Yep,
Canvas.
canvas,
like we have in the past.
so.
It's like what, 6 or 7 weeks from tomorrow? Yeah, so, and, you know, our own display. Carving pumpkins and some good work is being done on getting sponsorships and things like that. As far as promotion, as you see, word's getting out. We got 1,600 people who've identified that they're interested in the Friday night event, so we'll give updates to there. I mean, obviously, people are interested in this, and the committee, as was announced previously, announced that the prices are going up to $3 and $2. So given that we probably have a few thousand people come through the gates on a good weather weekend, that's gonna be an extra few $1,000s of fundraising.
We did have a board meeting on Monday night, so we were gonna give a little review of what we discussed and decided. But I don't know if Ken, Mark, do we have a grant project update or anything with the Ben Baker
Yeah,
Foundation?
I think we should do this kind of regularly, give you an update
Mhm.
on our. Presently, right now, Ben Baker. September 14th is on a Saturday. And it's from 11 to 3, a meet and greet. And that's confirmed. That's the first time we got a commitment of him being there. This was put out real beautifully on our website. With Peter Bosch, as the governor. So the next dates that Belita and I have figured out that might be acceptable to Vin are in November.
Okay.
The first 2 weeks of November, probably on a Tuesday night, depending on now Brook Life Church, what their availability is to have him appear at a seminar.
Okay.
The seminar will be 2 hours. 1 hour with Ben Baker, and then the second hour would be a group of addiction specialists in alcohol, opiates, and cigarettes and marijuana. Short, 10-15 minutes. The toolkit that the district bought 2 years ago, I have a thumb drive and so forth, and it gives us very explicit ways of how you start a seminar.
Oh, good.
So we try to keep you updated on a regular basis. As far as the performing arts, as a follow-up in January, February, we need to also find dates.
Okay.
And it looks like either a weeknight is better on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday night. So
Okay.
whoever is, we need to contact well enough in advance so that we can get our marketing team on board.
Excellent. Thank you, Ken.
And is the event at the Ben Baker Center, is that open to the public or is that just Rotarians?
It's going to be to all the Rotary members and the public in the community.
Okay,
Okay,
So
so,
by the community, it's the neighbors. 76th and Hampton. So they're gonna serve brats and have like a gathering, a picnic.
So I got that flyer out to all of our club members about the center, and there's some details in there as far as his recovery center that he's just opened up this past winter. But also the flyer went out to District 60-70 to invite our neighbors, Rotarians, to come along. But then again, it's also open to the public. I asked Jim to put it on our Facebook page just as an announcement.
this right here,
So let me finish, please.
Yeah.
So, it would be, I don't expect that that's gonna be a whole lot of interest from our Facebook page, but the invite is there. Anyway,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, this seems to have been written to Rotarians. Cause it says would like to meet us and show us the facility. But if we're gonna put it out to the public, as you can see, like I said, we're not gonna have 1,500 people. We have 1,500 people who have responded to the Jack-o'-lantern John event. I'm gonna talk about the John McGivern here in a bit. If you put on there that Vin Baker is gonna be there and possibly some other Bucks players, all of a sudden it's gonna be a fan event. So, I mean, do we want to just Rotarians, or do we really want to open this up to have 400 people show up to meet Bucks
I
players?
kind of piggybacked it on there because they opened it up to their public. We don't have to announce it to the public.
Okay,
They already have. And his availability is so narrow that it's just an opportunity for Rotarians to meet.
okay, so
Unfortunately, previous times, you know, if we get 15 Rotarians will be lucky.
right, but how about the public? Do you want me to put that on our Facebook page and say all are welcome, all community members from throughout the Waukesha, Milwaukee area?
Rotarians. I think we have to be specific
Okay,
as a, and then we can
Alright.
also use this as part of our district grant.
okay,
If there's any expenses involved.
okay. I'll make sure to reach out to Burlington, which I'm the assistant for, and make it known. Okay, good. Now we got that clarified.
Jim, do you want to talk about the Phantom Junction next concert and the John McGivern update?
Yeah, so as far as our fundraising, interesting, we being our club have a, kind of a go-getter district governor right now, which is a good thing. He has asked all his assistant governors, which includes me for us, Union Grove and Burlington. He'd like to create a database in terms of fundraisers. So he's asking me, and I don't need to do it for our club, obviously, but want to know what the fundraisers are and have me get in contact of who their fundraiser committee chair is. What does the club do? How many people does it take? So basically he's trying to say, hey, McGuanago, if you have a great fundraising event, maybe up in Fond du Lac, they could do something similar. So he's trying to create a database that can be shared throughout. So I've got to go to Burlington and find their canoe race or the things that they do. Obviously for us, I'm going to be talking about our Rotary Presents. So we also put on here, how close are you comfortable other Rotary clubs doing the same thing you're doing? I mean, I guess I wouldn't want another Rotary club to host John McGivern a week before us 5 miles away.
Yeah.
But if they want to do concessions at a concert, then, have at it. That's not a big deal. But our main fundraisers have evolved into Rotary Presents, the concessions, which we have another one coming up on September 28th, and the Jack-o'-lantern Halloween Hunt. Those are the three main ones that we now have, or primary ones. As far as the concerts, a sign-up list went out. It's kind of a shorter event from like 2:30 to 7. There's on September 28th, which is a Saturday, happens to be the same day as the Ed Foundation dinner. So, as far as licensed operators that we have to have on there, I'm going to be there for the first half or so. Then I plan on going to the Ed Foundation. But good news is Chris, Gabrielle, and Rachel. Chris is a licensed operator to sell alcohol. He's going to be there from like 4:30 to close. So don't expect it to be as big as Cherry Pie or July 3rd, but could be a decent crowd, especially if the weather is good. So about 3 per shift. So we're looking for a handful more volunteers to cover that setup through 7 o'clock for that concert. We didn't do June 1st because of the weather. So if we can raise a few to several hundred more dollars on this, that would be great on September 28th. As far as John McGivern, the goal right now is to increase awareness that the concert is going to be happening, and we're doing that through Facebook. So as I mentioned in the bulletin this past weekend, we're putting the word out there that the show is scheduled, not selling tickets or anything yet, for Saturday, February 22nd. Now, the great news is that since I posted this about a week ago, we have 491 people that have indicated that they are either going or interested. And the nice thing about that is, I mean, this isn't just, trolls out there. These are people who actually signed up, and we know who they are. All these people have clicked that they are interested in the show. And as a board and as a committee, we need to decide in the next few weeks whether we're going to book John for one show at 7 o'clock or two shows, like a 2 and a 7 or a 3 and a 7. Given the initial, and we're adding about 30, 40 of these a day and people interested, and let's assume that Steve right here or Sharon isn't planning to go alone, that they're going to bring a friend or a spouse or a significant other. That's 470 potentially times 2. We're up over 800 already. I don't think everybody's going to buy tickets, but then again, there are people going to buy tickets who aren't even on Facebook. So we're getting a very good response. And right now we are actually advertising this. And we have, I've boosted it, and it gives us the opportunity to get the word out and get some captive people who will get updates on the show. And you see, I boosted with $10 a week or so ago, and we had 79 people click that they're interested or going. And I just boosted it again a day or so ago and spending $25 over the week. And we've had 16 people click that they are interested. And this is out into Waukesha and everything as well. So the goal is to get it to 700-800 people interested, and then say, okay, tickets going on sale October 20th or whatever. And then fill up, and maybe we decide to do 2 shows. As far as the shows go, this darn thing gets in the way here. Maybe we'll come back to that. Where do I have it in PowerPoint here? So many things open here. Here we go. This will be it. All right. So John McGivern, scheduled date February 22nd. His performance fee is $7,500 for one show and $12,500. Having worked with small bands all the way through trying to book Charlie Barron's, the ratio of draw versus cost is so much higher with John McGivern in terms of his potential to sell out shows, and him, quote, only charges $7,500 for a show. That's essentially like 200 tickets. So if we do $12,500 for 2 shows, I'll show you what the potential fundraising is. The net fundraising from the 2022 show, after all its iterations and postponements and everything else, and we had 10,000 in sponsorships, it was 24,465. For one show, I estimate the expenses to be about $8,400, and for 2 shows, I estimate it to be about $14,000. Including the facility fee. Potential revenue, if we were to sell out, and we have some VIP tickets, which has some meet and greet, which we sold out in about 3 days last time, we'd have about $30,000 of revenue, which ends up being like a $22,000 fundraiser. If we do 2 shows and we sell 1,200 tickets, an average of 600 per show, that's $42,000 of revenue. Add a couple thousand, that's $44,000. We have about a $30,000 fundraiser if we have 2 shows and sell 600 tickets per show. So the opportunity is there. It could be a significant fundraiser. John is very easy to work with. John is in his late 60s. We just need John to stay healthy through February 22nd and be able to do the show. But right now, my thought is we're heading toward booking 2 shows. I've heard from his associate or his representative who I'm talking to, Lois, that they get a good turnout for matinees, because obviously his demographic is on the older side and they like doing things on Saturday afternoon as opposed to having to be out till 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So there's some opportunity there, but the initial response is excellent. I'm very happy. I mean, if we had 100 or 150 people respond already saying they're interested in the show, I think that'd be one thing, but given that we are getting close to, a significant amount, we're up to almost 500 now. And like I said, all I got to do is go in here, and I'm going to start putting some information about John McGivern. Not that people don't know who he is, but this is where I can announce and email out to our people who came to the last show. So anyway, any thoughts on that or questions? And then those numbers that I showed you are not even with no sponsors. Obviously, if we get some sponsors, that would just help cover costs and be more of a fundraiser. So Yeah, we potentially have the ability, knock on wood, to have a couple of years of fundraising with one event.
I think that it's important for us from the marketing side of it to let the sponsors know that we have that kind of a volume that we will be touching
Mhm.
on this project.
So that's the latest with John McGivern. The goal is by the next board meeting, we'll as a club decide we're gonna go with two and sign the contract with John McGivern and everything like that. And then we'll have to decide when tickets go on sale. It makes sense to have them on sale before the holidays, certainly, since it's February 22nd. And then go out from there. As far as beyond that, working on settling on a date for to bring back Kids from Wisconsin next July. Nothing else beyond that in terms of future productions. So that's an update on Rotary Presents.
Yes, thanks, Jim.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Just thinking.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Was your thought that we would start selling tickets for the 7 o'clock show? And then if we get close to, selling that out, then you would announce that you're gonna do a matinee? Or you're gonna have to go and say, well, we got a matinee, or we got the 7 o'clock, which show do you want to go?
I think we need to go forward with two shows from the start, because otherwise I'm gonna get people like, we bought tickets for the 7, but we really want to go to the 3 and things like that. Can we switch our tickets? And that's why I wanted to show this. Like I said, if we had 100 people so far, I'd be like, okay, maybe there's not enough interest, but these are people who, again, not all 492 are gonna buy tickets, but they may have 3 friends they're gonna bring. I think we're getting close. We sold out the first show before the pandemic shut it all down. We had the show pretty much sold out. I think with our greater reach right now and advertising and things like that, maybe we don't sell out 2 shows, but I think we could easily have 500-600 people in each show.
I don't wanna run out of time. I know, Joe, you had an update for us, from the district, if you wanna share that.
Yeah,
Updates.
so, I don't even know what day it is right now, Thursday, a week and a half ago, the board approved to go to referendum. But, it is, for, I would say it's for a new middle school. I'm confident people talk about renovation, but we're renovating 32,000 square feet of the current building that was built in 1993. That's part of the plan. We would be using that space, preliminarily. We're looking at it for the kitchen, the servery for the cafeteria, building a new cafeteria that would kind of wrap around part of the older, piece of the building. Some multi-purpose space. But for instance, if like wrestling practice needed to happen, if a class needed a large space, we'd have multi-purpose space there, and then tech it. So we would keep that in what is the current 32,000 square foot, and we're looking to build 210,000 additional square feet. All of that would pull the building away from the corner, so we'd be able to accomplish what we were trying to accomplish in April. We'd be able to do it at, we're looking at a 24-cent mill rate impact, so $24 per 100,000. The scope of $1 million home, it's $240 a year. We can kind of back it down from there. So we have started talking about this, advertising it. Would like to get on the schedule sometime end of September, beginning of October, if we could speak for the group again.
How about October 3rd? I just got moved to that date.
October 3rd to work. I have to check my calendar, but we're really excited. We've been at the parent open houses past 2 nights, and the number of parents who articulated that they were happy that we were doing this again, that they didn't vote last April. You know, that was one of the things that is kind of a sticking point for us. We had Sean, when you guys did the referendum in April of 16, you had somewhere around 13,500 votes cast during that cycle. This past April, we had 9,999 votes cast. When we looked back at November elections in Waco, we have somewhere between 25 and 27,000 votes cast.
I think there'll be a little bit of a turnout in November.
Yeah. So we're hopeful that the draw plus the cost are gonna be things that people can connect to. On a $400,000 home, this is a $96 a year. I never would tell people how to spend their money.
I know. It's a night at Fork in the Road.
Right.
Yeah.
It really does not have the the stick that the other project did at 64 cents. You can understand that was a little bit more of a bite, but at 24 cents, it's quite a bit cheaper.
Any initial feedback on the cell phone policy?
You know, we've got a couple people who are grumbling about it, but most of the parents want to find a way to get those stupid things out of their kids' hands, and they've been grateful. It's very interesting. You know, like the old expression, don't let the tail wag the dog. It's interesting what we're hearing right now from some parents that the kid is the tail wagging the family dog there, because there is no way that there's no way that I would categorize a rational parent putting up the stink that they're putting about the cell phone and the range of things that people are grabbing at. As for the reason that their kid must have their phone with them all day.
Well, I think the B thing, we were talking about anxiety like that, is a lot moms like to check in with their kid. How you feeling? You know,
It's that codependent anxiety.
Yeah, I know.
The parent is ramping the kid up, and that is like, I mean, if anybody gets the opportunity in your own lives as adults to get off the grid, get away from your phone, where it just doesn't work, you will feel the change that you have. You're not going to Facebook, you're not checking your email, you're not doing the things that you otherwise would be doing. And it is a remarkable feeling. I used to get that when I would go elk hunting, and I could feel myself, just a piece come upon myself. And the number and the absolute difference like that you have when you have that stupid thing attached to you all the time. And our kids are feeling that, and they're feeling it in a level where they've never experienced life without it. I mean, and that is gonna be part of it. We had a speaker in yesterday, we did our kickoff with our staff, his name was Luis Cruz. He talked about professional learning communities, but his experience was in the Los Angeles Unified School District. And the LA School District has banned them too. So like, if you're looking at, I think it's the second or third largest school district in the country says no, like we're not, you wanna talk about a nonpartisan, fully supported idea. I mean, everybody now recognizes, and if you haven't had the chance to read or listen to The Anxious Generation, I would very strongly encourage you to listen or read that book. That I had long believed the cell phone was the difference in my career when I looked at the kids that I was teaching, and that book through research proves the negative impact that the cell phone and social media had.
Here's somewhere that that Madison may pass a law preventing cell phones from being in kids' hands while they're at school.
They might
to be locked up in their life. I thought I heard something about that.
It's very possible. I mean, it is becoming it to be in a high school. So it's really interesting. Sorry to get too far off topic here, but Luke Spielman, our middle school principal, found a video on YouTube from the 1992. There was a random recovered VHS recording of Parkview Middle School. And it is, I would say, the stupidest hour of video you could watch. It must have been a kid or a staff member randomly walking through the hallway with a VHS recorder with what seemed to be very no purpose at all. And it is kids in the cafeteria, kids making faces at the camera, adults wondering why there's a camera on them. I mean, it is like all of this. But there's not a single kid who is not interacting face to face with another kid in his life in 1992. Fast forward to now, I was just at the high school last night for the open house, and we're passing out some literature. There was not a kid who did not have a phone in their hand as they were walking through the hallway with 3 or 4 of their friends. And I mean, that thing and what it's doing to people, like you look at mental health, you look at kids who are dysregulated, you look at the problems that we have in society. It is all stems from the fact that nobody is communicating face to face anymore. Nobody wants to have the conversation. And that is, I mean, we've hit a tipping point. The iPhone's been in people's hands since 2010. And it is definitely time.
There was a story on the nightly news last night about states who have gone together and banned phones. New York State was one of them, some other states on the East Coast, California, of course, is considering it statewide, so.
Yeah. The only other thing I want to say, the CDC has put cell phones as the #1 addiction.
Oh my.
It's now a health concern.
Yeah.
And that's what's spurring all this other action.
Well, and I mean, you look at the social media companies, right? They hired addiction specialists to design They're
Oh, no.
platforms to make people addicted.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm,
it is like the most.
I'm thinking right now, what were those two buzzes that I had on my hip here while I was just sitting here? Yeah.
Charlie, you wanna come up for the round 3 of Rotary Minute? Or you wanna stay there too? You could stay there if you want.
No, come on up. We've got 10 minutes.
Oh, that's right, you gotta be on camera.
Yeah, where I left off, for those that haven't been at the meetings, I've been going over the start of our club, how it was organized all the way up to, when I got up to December of '89. We had 2 meetings in December of '89, the 14th and the 28th. And then we started meeting every Thursday at 7 a.m. at Vista Gardens on January 4th. And this was the sign-up sheet for that meeting. There were 15 people there, 15 people. Now this sign-up sheet might look a little more familiar to everybody. This was the first meeting we had a regular sign-up sheet, like somewhat like what Tom's got.
Why do you still have that?
What?
Why do you still have that?
I've got it electronically.
Oh,
Historical.
I just printed
Printed
it.
it? Okay.
And the reason I printed this one, it was the first time we had this attendance record, and it was also on my birthday, January 25th,
Oh,
1990. So I'm gonna just pass these around. You might be interested in some of the names. There were 19 people. So we went from 15 to 19 between the 4th of January and the 25th of January. And then I didn't have any more scanned sign-up sheets, but on April 24th, I sent in our list of charter members to start the process of chartering the club. I sent it on April 24th. Rotary International says they received it May 3rd, so that was Pony Express. But I'll pass this around too. These are the original 25 charter members, if anybody's interested in looking at that. In that application, that list was put together and sent in, and then I sent in the application on April 26th. The president and president-elect was me, because we had 3 more months of that Rotary year left. Arlene Hill was the vice president, Hugh Porter was the secretary, Paul Riley was the treasurer, Glenn Mock was sergeant at arms, Les Schultz was international service director, Sean Riley, community service director, Patricia Turcott, club service, Sandy Butler, vocational service. And that was sent in on that date. On May 24th, we had our changing of the guard at Lee Shore. I don't know if anybody knows where Lee Shore was, but if you know where the dockside is.
Yeah.
The building, right when you make the turn to go to the dockside, that's right on your right. I think the old sign that's now got for sale up there, Lindley's or something, is now with her name. Lee Shore. What's that? Lindley, okay. Lee Shore was that building. They had a little bowling alley in the back, kind of a unique complex. But we had it there Thursday, May 24th, with a dinner and then speakers. That night on the program, this is a copy of the program for that night. In attendance was the current district governor, Richard Olson, past district governor, Joe Looper. And they all spoke at that meeting that night on May 24th. And last but not least, I kept a letter, or had signed a letter from the of our club. I don't remember what the charter says up there as far as what the date is. It should have been May of '90, but I'm not sure the exact date. The letter is dated May 15th, so I'm guessing it probably was a little before that. I'll just pass that on. So anyway, that took us to and the officers I listed were only going to be in office for that year for a couple of months. So they also signed up for the next year. So we went from that 2 or 3 months, and then we just went right into the next year. And our club kicked off. I said we were at Vista Gardens, and then Bob and Kitty, remember Norma and Betty. Betty was the cook. Norma was our waitress.
Yeah.
And we were there for a decade. And they fairly soon after opening as Lee Shore, because they bought that from, took over the restaurant from Howie Anik and Roger Walsh, who Roger's still around here. They changed it to In the Olden Days, and they remodeled it, and they started as In the Olden Days. And we were in there for a decade, 10 years. Anyway, I'll finish up the next time. I just want to reflect back on my personal opinion of how, not how it started, but what happened after that. And maybe just some thoughts on why I think Rotary is so important to this community and to our larger community at large. And I'll do that the next time if I have that opportunity, and then I'll be done with it. So, okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it. Greg, did you want to do some happy finds for us today?
Yes, I will.
Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Any happy finds?
So any happy finds today?
I do. Today is my anniversary.
Oh, happy anniversary.
How many?
Year 26.
26.
And I'll put another one in, because both my kids are going to be we have to move them in, but at college this weekend, and I'm trying to decide, is it a happy fine or a sad fine?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
I had another birthday.
Congratulations.
How many
Happy
is-
birthday,
Is that this year?
Our oldest got married last week and I'm doing a baby shower next week for our.
Whoa,
Oh,
I see. Congratulations.
All right, to the others.
School starts next week.
All right.
And you're happy about that.
It's interesting, right? If everybody's in and everybody's doing their job, fewer people are calling my office, so that's the happy find.
Let's hope.
Charlie, you did such a good job. Why don't you pick, let's see. Read the last three digits, please.
773.
That'd be me.
There you go. Yeah. Everything's wiped out. Is there anything else for the good of the group? If not, we'll.
Well, wanna just give an update, our Union Grove Satellite Club.
Yes.
We're gonna have our first major fundraiser December 1st.
Okay.
From 12 to 3, Sunday afternoon, no Packers. We're gonna have a silent auction, a live auction, and celebrate and work together with Leafs Across America. Because our fourth largest cemetery is in Union Grove. We're kind of working with that committee, but Mary Ellen Crandall, who spoke to our club, we thought it would be an excellent way to raise funds, not just for Reefs Across America, but for the Union Grove Rotary Club.
Perfect.
December 1st,
December.
Where is it gonna be?
in camp.
Oh, it's in Kent. Okay. Nice.
I'll keep us updated.
Anything else for the good of the group? Tom, I'm sorry.
Read this morning, Israel has agreed to stop shelling temporarily Gaza so that they can immunize their kids against polio.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Apparently they have one polio case recently.
Whatever it takes.
Let's hope it all stops. Hey, Greg.
Thank you for everybody that donated this month to the food pantry. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for collecting. Anyone else?
And expanding our horizons and our shopping abilities.
Well, I told a couple of people, they were like, I brought, since it sounded like they really needed the products, I was gonna deliver everything today, but last Thursday I delivered what
Oh, okay, good.
I had.
Yeah.
Collected, and also I had $40 that was donated from club members that didn't buy product. So Cindy was there last week and had another something going on. And so I brought it to Cindy and we talked a little while and said, oh, by the way, I've got $40 for you. That was donated, and they said, I think you could spend it better than I can.
Exactly.
Well, if nothing else, let's do the four-way test. As we leave this meeting, go back into the world of life and work, of the things we think, say, and do. Let us remember to ask ourselves first.
Second is fair to all concerned. Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will be beneficial to all concerned.
All right. Have a great Labor Day weekend.
Here you are, sir.
All right, thank you.
Charlie,
You're heading to the ballpark?
Yes, I am. I'm in the home clubhouse.
I'll read this.